Hello, you guys. Welcome to the MoonBabes Monday Night Live on Tuesday. I'm Sonia G, and tonight we're going to talk about the current energy. I'm going to pin a comment as you guys jump on. The energy is shifting. We're going to talk about some really good stuff tonight, and I tried to summarize it in this comment. And we're going to chat about the energy. We're going to chat about what's happening in our world. And my third eye has been like going crazy. So we're just going to do this and we're going to all get grounded. And we're also going to talk about the retreat and what's coming up with the solstice, because there's the reason why I am doing a retreat over the solstice. So let's talk. Oh, I see all of you guys joining. Judy, Mary, I see you, Christina. I see all of you guys. Yay. Thank you guys for joining. So, hi, Danielle. Hi. Some of your handle names I recognize and some of them I don't, but thank you guys so much for joining. And I hope that tonight we're going to chat about we're going to get in depth into things. So, hey, Carrie, happy that you could hop on. I had to do some like meditating and some grounding before even getting on, because there's a dimensional shift that is happening, and it's like my third eye is like this, like things are just happening everywhere. And I know that some of you guys are feeling this too. So let's get started, you guys. Take a breath with me, because we're like just going to be talking about things. So if you're driving, don't close your eyes, but if you're in a place to, just close your eyes, rub your palms together, and take a deep breath in. Hold the breath, bring your palms at your heart. Just stay here for a moment, and then exhale. Let's do one again. Inhale. Hold the breath. Hold it. Exhale. And then on your next breath, you can let your hands go down. On your next breath, inhale big. And as you exhale, push your breath down to connect down through the earth, through the energy of Mother Earth, to the love connection, to the heartbeat of the planet. Okay, get into your connection with Mother Earth, with your love to love for Gaia, for our planet, and then breathe that energy exchange back up. Breathing into your heart, feeling supported, feeling connected. And then from here, breathe in light from the higher realms. Bring in higher frequencies. So take a deep breath and just breathe in light through your crown chakra. Go. Big column of light. The heavens are just shining down on you. Breathe it into your body. Breathe it into your body. This is stuff you guys have to do every day. We have to do this stuff every day, okay? And then exhale. Feeling loved by the heavens. Feeling supported by the earth. And then open your eyes, or keep them open, but just become present. And this is the kind of connection that you have to start establishing for yourself. But like, take at least 10 minutes to do that every day. I stay in meditation. I generally will stay anywhere between like a half hour to an hour, some days up to 2 hours. And I'm not saying that you have to go that far, but there's a shift that's happening, and every single person on the planet right now is recalibrating. We've seen it even with the blasts and the Schumann resonance. We've seen a lot of things happening in the world, and there's, and the moons and the astrology. But this week, interestingly enough, there's no particular like major astrology that's happening, right? This is a cosmic week. This is like a cosmic portal opening week. This is a very significant week, okay? And what's happening, and I've noticed a trend with my private clients, because you guys know I take private clients, and then I also teach courses online. Okay, so I've noticed a trend with all of my private clients, and when things happen for me, in addition to private clients, I tune in and connect in every day, just like we just did, except more in depth. And then I tune into the collective and what's happening. And I talk to my guides and I talk to my higher self and to get a feel for what's going on. So I kind of have multiple ways of checking what's happening. But there's a lot of us that are awakening into our lineage. And this is really what I want to talk about, is the things that we came here to do are the things that we are now needing to get done. Okay, fears aside, it's time to truly step into the jobs that we came to do. What does this look like? What does it mean? This is like the choices that were made in your family lines, in your bloodlines, that need to be rewired, that need to be consciously rewired. Those are coming up for a lot of people. And it's like the karmic patterns that you may not even know about that are just running through your blood. And so we're clearing those up. There's feelings that are coming up that are bigger than feelings would make sense to be. You're feeling extremely tired, feeling these kinds of ascension symptoms. What's happening is in the background, we're clearing through things. And we are, sorry, I'm looking at my internet connection because I see the staticky and we're like we're holding the energy, but we're clearing through ancestral lines. And this is happening for a lot of people. Now, for some people, this means work on Earth, on Mother Earth. For some people, this means lines are opening up and connections are opening up through to your starseed lineage, to your family of light. And if this is you, if this is happening to you, you are having, you're having to work with higher frequencies and you're having to anchor them in. And what I've noticed is you can't ground into the 5D frequencies anymore. And I waited a week to really say this because whenever a shift happens, I always want to make sure that it's stable, that we've done, the work to stabilize it. So those of you that understand, so if this message resonates with you, okay, which means you're a grid worker, you're a light keeper, you're a frequency holder, you're anchoring in ascension codes, okay, you're doing this work, you're done with 5D. 5D is fully created. You're in it. You're conscious in it. You're running consciously in it. You have to shift to holding the frequencies of your star lineage. I'm going to say that again. You have to shift to hold the frequencies of your star lineage. How are you going to figure that out? You have a knowingness inside of you, okay? Outside of the fact that I'm going to teach you guys how to do this in the Sacred Chakras Journey course, which is why now it all makes sense why at the beginning of the month I was told to have an update, that we had to wait until the 30th, right, to have an update. So if you guys know, my Sacred Chakras Journey course is my advanced course where I teach you guys how to navigate the unseen realms, travel the astral worlds, connect to your family of light, connect to your higher self, and have a full connection to all the dimensional fields that we work with, okay? And how to work with energy in a very real, tangible way, how to work with your guides and angels. Well, I've been waiting to do this Q&A for a while. It's a, live Q&A that we do every time I open up registration, and I was told it had to be on the 30th. Well, now I know why, because the energy is shifting on the 30th, and we're shifting into an opening that's taking us through to the solstice. Okay, so it's happening with this week. This week, the galactic frequencies are coming in where you're going to be able to figure out where you need to align. And we're going to be working with our third eye. You guys know this. Those of you that are in the Sacred Chakras Journey, we had an attunement that went into what I call our star channel. The button, the chakra that goes from here to the back of your neck, okay? So we're going to be working with this. We're going to be working with our star frequency and with your soul star frequency. And this is what you need to start getting recalibrated to, because calibrating to the 5D frequencies, to the 5D grid, your energy won't want to go there anymore. So for some people, if you've never grounded there, then this is where you start, okay? But I know that a lot of you guys are at different levels, and so it really just kind of depends. If you are not used to grounding anywhere, or grounding in the morning, or connecting your light, okay, there's no more time to not do it or to not have time to do it. So hear me, please. You have to do this or you're going to lose your mind. I know I've been saying this for a while. So take the time, wake up in the morning, put your feet down on the ground. You have to connect to the light grid. You have to connect to the light grid. You have to connect to the light grid. I love you guys. I'm going to say this until my soul feels like you have received the message, okay? You have to do this. Number 2, you have to pull down your higher self light. You have to pull down your soul. Your soul has to inhabit the body. Your light has to be inside of your body. Before social media, before chaos, before the freaking news, put your phone down in the morning. You hear me? Put your phone down in the morning. I am in full preacher mode right now. Watch out, guys. Put your phone down, bring on the light, okay? You have to do this. And I teach you guys about all these things in details, and we have like a magical morning routine in the Sacred Chakras journey. It's a manifesting routine. No manifesting routine will ever tell you to get up, look at your phone, sit in bed, check your phone, scroll through your crap, okay? That's never gonna manifest anything. So stop doing that if that's what you're doing. What you want to do is connect to yourself, connect to your light, and you're going to need to find a way, okay, to calibrate yourself to your own self, to your higher self, and to the higher frequencies that you're holding. If you're a star seed, you are literally holding frequencies inside of you and ascension codes that you are meant to unlock and ground into the planet. This is the time. It's like little baby time bombs of light that are going to start exploding inside of you. And you're going to have to know how to handle this process. You're going to have to know how to do this, okay? This has already been happening in waves to those of us that have started our awakening earlier, to those of us that have been the way showers and the portal hole, the keepers and the light bears, etc., etc. So we've done this, but I can tell you this, we've never done it in such a mass way, okay? So now there's more and more and more people, and so when we do this together, it's like I am dropping light bombs right over here in Utah where I'm at, which is where I'm meant to be because I'm guarding crystals that are underneath Utah. And all of you guys will know that you are where you are meant to be because you feel like you love Mother Earth where you are, and you're in the place that you're meant to be, and you're gonna find this magical connection. It's like a lymphatic connection between heaven and earth that runs through you, and you know the land loves you and that you are supported and that the heavens is like pouring down the light on you. That's where you want to be, and this is where you want to keep running this exchange. You are a transducer of light, okay? And as you do this, you're anchoring in these higher frequencies, these codes that have been in your blood, in your bones, in your cells, and they're waking up inside of you, and you have to know how to handle yourself because this is your job. It's kind of like, think of yourself like, I'm probably gonna say something really silly now, but almost like an undercover agent, okay? And like, but you forgot that you were undercover, and now this is the time that you wake up. Okay, angels, can I have another reference, like another way of saying this? But the point is that you may have forgotten this, okay? And now it's time for you. Like, this is your move. This is your time. And if you get that little inkling inside, like you should be doing something now, you should be looking inwards, you should be dealing with yourself. There is an itch. If you have the inner itch, that's what I'm going to call it. If you have the inner itch, pay attention. Okay, you are the only one that's going to be able to figure that out. You can go to a healer, you can go to a reader, but you also have to make sure that you trust that person. Okay, and so you have to be able to go inwards and figure out, yeah, it's restlessness. I see you guys, I love your analogies. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that they help. So it is restlessness. That's a very good way of saying it. So if you feel restless, if you feel like there's something, like you can't put your finger on it, but there's just something, right? There's just something. You can't quite figure it out. And then every night you're like, well, I'm tired. I'm just going to go to bed, right? And then you do it again the next day, and the next day it happens again. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. You're probably also seeing numbers. You're seeing repeated messages from the universe. You're seeing repeated signs. You're getting like deja vus and weird dreams. And there's just synchronicities that are starting to happen in your life. Okay, you have to start paying attention. we have to remember that the 3D world and everything that happens in our world is very temporary. This is like, you know, it's the other stuff. That's not the real stuff. That's not the stuff you are here on this planet to do. That's just like the daily stuff, life that people get caught up in. That's not your real deal. This is why on the inside, you know you are not fulfilled. And if you hear me on this, and if you feel that it's like, okay, why do I feel empty? Why do I feel a void? Why is there no other way to feel this void? Why do I, you know, just feel like nobody understands me, like I'm losing my mind, you know, however you're feeling misunderstood in every way, but then you're trying to fit in, you're trying to make sense out of things, and maybe you're trying to watch the TV shows to get your mind off of stuff. Don't do that. Put that remote down, put whatever, like sugar, alcohol, whatever thing that you're doing, put it down, okay? And just meditate. And meditation is a very active thing. Meditation is not sitting there with like boring situations happening. Meditation is very, very active. You sit in stillness because your body on the outside looks still. So you see somebody meditating and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't sit still for that long. My mind would go crazy. You got to train your mind, okay? You got to train your mind to go the places that you want it to go. You're here to also train yourself. It's kind of like, you know, a bodybuilder at the gym. First time you go to the gym, you don't know how to lift the weights. You don't know what you're supposed to do. You don't know how the machines work. Same thing. You close your eyes, you go inside your body, and you're like, whoa, how do I make things happen on the inside of this body? Because think about how much you don't actually think about the functions and what's going on inside your body. We don't really think about it. We wake up, our eyes work, our nose breathes air, right? Our feet get on the ground and like we move. We don't really think about the functions of our body. When you close your eyes and you go inwards, you go inwards, and you find yourself until you find that stillness. When you find the stillness, okay, then you reach for your higher self, you reach for that connection. Of course, I teach you guys how to do all this stuff safely in the courses that I do, but you have to get to know yourself. So if you start by just going inwards, getting that connection, getting to know yourself, that's where you start. Talking to all the voices in your head if you need to, right? So start somewhere, but get to know what is happening inside of you, inside of your mind. Who is you? Do you know what your thoughts are? Do you know what the thoughts of the people next door are? Do you know what the thoughts of your guardian angels are? Do you know if you have ancestors around that are putting thoughts? Do you know if it was the ads that you accidentally saw on the billboard on the freeway while you were driving home from work that popped some mental stuff in your brain, right? We have to start to understand what's what. And so just get better at cleaning out your mind. Nope, that thought is not allowed. This is a very, like, if you start to spiral down, if your thoughts start to spiral down, okay, you have to learn how to clean that stuff up. Lift it up, clean that stuff up, okay? And there's just no more time. So it's kind of like at this point, get in a course, like my course, like the Sacred Chakras Journey, where I teach you guys how to do that, or just freaking do it. You guys just do it. Just like, you know, make yourself do it. You have to. There's like no other way. And I'm telling you this, that in June, come the solstice, the frequency shift is going to be so huge that this is where people are like, have you noticed how many people are exiting the planets in terms of like people that are you know, one way or another, either committing suicide, there's tragic things, people are getting in accidents, health things happening all the time, okay? This is because people actually can't take it anymore and they manifest some kind of way to exit, okay? But deep inside, you know that you are here to stay. You are here to ascend this planet. You are here to resurrect your soul inside of your body. You know it. You know it, and don't you give up on this task now, you guys. This is not what we're here to do, okay? So when it comes to the solstice, the frequencies are going to be so strong. You know how right now we just felt the Schumann resonance. You guys saw, if you follow me, you saw I started doing these cosmic rants where I kind of start to tie the news together a little bit. And not necessarily news, but just things that like, you know, things come to my awareness in meditation, and then I'll go look and see like what happened. Why did the frequency shift of the planet this much? So recently we had a couple of fireballs that fell into the ocean, right? A couple of meteors within a week that fell into the ocean in Australia. And there was a huge disinformation campaign online. Some people said NASA said this, you know, other agencies said this, some people said that, witness reports. I mean, now they can't just take all the videos offline anymore because there's too many people with phones, and so the information does get out, so they have to say something. Well, so how are they going to confuse everybody on what happened? Is they're going to start talking shit, right? They're going to say, oh, we're going to say this. Some reports said that one of the asteroids was 1/10 the nuclear power of Hiroshima. Another one said, oh, it would have been fine if it landed on land. It would have been like minor damage. Like, I started reading this and I was like, that's when you know there is something, right? So you start to reading different things, and then they land, and there's no tsunami. There's no anything that rises out of the ocean. You think that with two fireballs that big, right, something would happen, but there isn't. So doesn't it make sense that something is going underwater, right, with a purpose? So you kind of start to look at these things. But you know what did change is the Schumann resonance. So some things that came into our atmosphere from higher dimensional frequencies, and then all of a sudden the Earth's resonant frequency, which is the Schumann resonance, which is always at 7.8 hertz, okay, bounced all the way to 69. That's a big jump. And so when you feel tired, when you feel like you get heart palpitations, ears ringing, like massive like third eye headaches, you know, and just the headaches that go here, your body is just achy. What's happening is it's like there's radio waves that you can't hear, but your body feels. And so you have to adjust. And that's what's been going on. That's the Schumann resonance. It's like we have to adjust to the higher frequencies. So how do you deal with that? You know, outside of taking lots of Epsom salt baths and, you know, peppermint oil and all of these things. So, and I can't, for some reason, my screen went dark, so I can't really read your guys' comments, but I see that. So hopefully you guys are answering each other. I know that some of you are there in support. So, and just, you know, exchange information, you guys. I hope that this is helpful. So when these things happen, what you have to do is, oh, here's my 15-minute. Technically, we may have to jump off and jump back on. But what you want to do is pull down higher frequencies. You have to get yourself to higher grounds. Kind of like when there's an earthquake. What do? You get yourself to higher grounds, right? When there's a flood, you get yourself to higher grounds. You have to get yourself to higher frequencies. You have to, okay? So the way that you do this is you use your energetic body. This is stuff that I teach you guys about in the Sacred Chakras journey. So you have to extend yourself beyond your physical body and go and talk to your higher self. Go hang out with your higher self. You can go to your soul star. You can go to where you are from. You can go to where your soul feels at home. You can go to the moon. You can go to Venus. You can go to Andromeda. You can go to Sirius. You can go to all these places, okay? And you can sync up with that energy that is 7th dimensional, 6th dimensional, 9th dimensional. You can go up, all the way up. Go sync up with 12th dimensional energy. Bring it inside your physical body. That's what you want to do. You want to go get the energy, bring it in, okay? Because when you are vibrating that high, then you're not feeling these other things. You don't get the headaches and you don't get all of these other things. So whenever you start feeling the physical symptoms, that's like, imagine that your soul is screaming for you to like go and get it. Go and retrieve more of your soul, okay? And bring it inside of your physical body. That's the work that we want to do. That's the stuff that we want to do. So, Sacred Chakras Journey. This is the advanced course. I opened up registration temporarily because of this. So it's open until the 30th, but generally I don't do this because I have a retreat coming up. So this is not a normal thing, because I tell you guys one thing at a time, generally speaking, because it's like, this is what I hold the energy for. But I also pay attention to my team, and I pay attention to my angels and to my higher self. So if you feel pulled for you to understand how to navigate the dimensions, how to navigate the difference between the star beings and your guides. We talk about the Arcturians, the Pleiadians, the Lyrians, the Sirians, all of them. We talked about, last time we had the Phelonians come up. We work with all of the different star beings. We learn all about the angels and your chakras and your higher chakras, how to work with the energy, how to work with the downloads. What do things mean? How do you understand the information that's coming through? How do you sync it up? We do all of those magical things. Magical is just a term for something that's really not understood, and it's mystical because you can't see it. But on the inside, man, we feel it, right? So you learn how to understand things with your senses. It's like the closest thing to like an X-Men school, where you really learn how to like work on your superpowers, right? Whether it's sight, whether it's smell, whether it's you hear things, like you really start to tune into this, and then you figure out where you're from. You actually figure out your lineage and where you're from, right? Beyond Earth. So past lives beyond Earth. And this is the stuff that is coming up, you guys. It's the stuff that is coming up. So if you're interested in figuring this out, because this is your crew that's supporting you now. It really is your crew. And it's just, these are the beings that are coming around you. If you see like the lights flashing, if you start seeing literally physical lights flashing, but also like little, bubbles of light popping around. You see them in the air. You see the things. It seems like the leaves of the trees are waving hello, right? Like you see things are coming to life around you. Today, I started seeing almost like holes in my mirror. You guys know I do a lot of work in my mirror, and I was like, whoa, it was like dimensional things with my eyes open, not like closed, but just literally like just opening through. And I have a feeling that we're going to really start to see almost like if you're on drugs, but you're not, right? And so you see things that are just like, whoo, realities that start to melt. And it's just, we are needing to truly get grounded to our own dimensional playing field. That's what we need to start doing. So we're going to do that on Thursday. Sacred Chakras Journey. If it feels like this is something that is calling you, if you're ready to get to that next level in your journey and figure that stuff out, then go and check it out. The registration is open, and there's a payment plan open, okay? So that you can do all of that. And I can see that some of you guys, some of you guys are on there and you're saying all sorts of things. See, I can't even read. For some reason, my screen is really dark and I can see some of you guys chatting. So, but I love that you guys are chatting. So, in any case, if you feel like it, okay, then go and check it out. That is a course that will call you when the time is yours, because there's a lot of information. It's like that blue pill and the red pill. But if you have been debating it, okay, make note that the time is now, because come the solstice, which is in less than a month, everybody's world is going to change. This is where you're really like, shit's gonna hit the fan in a new way. And you'll see, if you listen to the astrology, if you listen to people like, there's a shift, there's a shift, there's a shift, but it's going to be inside. It's not like something dramatic is gonna happen on the outside, and maybe it will. Maybe there will also be like, dramatic things happening on the outside, because that's always the reflection. But it's how you handle things on the inside, because you're going to need to hold yourself in the light. And that's the most important thing. So I can see that I'm getting kicked off. Like my Wi-Fi is really weird, which I think happens at the end of like 45 minutes. So maybe we've been here for a really long time. So let's jump back on. Let me download this video, and then let's do a Q&A on the other one. Okay. But check out the website. I also, like I said, have the Solstice retreat, which is the sun goddess manifesting retreat, because we're using up the energy of the solstice. So excited. And we're going to tune to those high frequencies. So you can do it here in person in Salt Lake City, or you can do it digitally. So make sure that you check it out. I'm Sonia G. This was the MoonBabes Monday Night Live on Tuesday, and we're going to jump on a round 2 for questions. I love you guys. Mwah. Oh, and my website, www.moonbabetribe.com. That's why I love my angels. Mwah. Bye.